Hi, everybody. Today we're going to talk about how to write a resume. I'm including some videos, links to videos, just about what a resume is and how to do it in depth. This video right now that I'm making is about my instructions for this assignment. So I'm asking you for some specific things, and this one is just about the assignment. I'm probably going to have to break this up into a few different videos to talk about each section. Um, but just to get started, there's two links available on Blackboard that kind of go over what a resume is and how to do it in depth. But resume is a French word that means summary, and it's just a summary of the things that you've done. You submit it to an employer or somebody who's hiring people for a job, and hopefully it's enough information to get you an interview, to get them to want to come in, to have you come in and talk to you about the job and decide if you're the best one. So knowing that it's a summary of the things that you've done, one of the key things is that it should only be about a single page, maybe a page front and back, but it shouldn't be longer than that because they're just trying to get an idea of who you are. So knowing that you're trying to fit a lot of information in a very short space, one of the first things you need to do is research. So I like to use LinkedIn to do some research, and I'm going to go to LinkedIn really quickly here. So LinkedIn is a website for looking for jobs. I'm going to go down here and search. So I'm looking for jobs. I can also look for people or apparently learning. If I'm looking for a job as a manager, for example, you would put in whatever job you are looking to have when you graduate. But I would put in the kind of job that I'm applying for. It automatically chooses my location. So I'm in California in the United States. And all of these jobs down the side here have come up where they're looking for managers. So the first one is at Aldi. It's in Moreno Valley. This is how much they pay. This is how many people have applied already. I'm going to go down to the description. They kind of tell you, what they're looking for. They give you some information. It's important to read through this and especially pay attention to the qualifications that they're asking for. So they want people who are able to develop a rapport or a relationship, people who are able to communicate, people who are organized, people who can conduct meetings, people who have been involved in recruitment, training, retention of employees, because as the manager, you want to be able to get good employees and keep them and train them appropriately. So managing conflict, all of these things are the qualifications that they're looking for. So knowing what they want is important before I go into the rest of my resume. Let me choose another one here. So this one is at UC Riverside. This is a university here in Southern California. They've got a description with like the pay scale. They've got some of the things that you might do. So I don't think they have, they don't have a bulleted list of what they want. They've put it in the paragraph here. So they want somebody with a bachelor's degree. They want somebody with 6 to 10 years of experience. They want somebody who can do financial analysis. They want somebody who the minimum requirements are the ability to communicate. They want somebody with interpersonal skills. So the very first thing that I would do if I were you is look for the job that you are going to be applying for or the job you want when you get out of college and read through some of these. I'd like you to read through a few of them and make a list of the top 3 skills that they seem to have in common. For example, this ad right here is asking for communication skills, and I know that the previous one was also asking for communication skills. So make a list of maybe the top 3 or 4 things that you know you're going to want to include on your resume. You can also search for people. So for example, if I know somebody or there's somebody who's a mentor to me or who I admire, I might search their first name and their last name, and I can look at their LinkedIn profile. So this is Bill Gates. He's the co-chair of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, some things that he's done, the schools that he's been to. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to see his About Me section. I'm going to see articles that he's done. I'm going to see how he explains his experience, how he explains his education. And then if I want to join, I can see his full profile. These are all of the things that are going to go on your resume. So seeing what kind of experience somebody you admire has might be helpful for you. But just to go back to the original document with my instructions, a good thing to do is to research and then to write down 3 or 4 of the top skills. Once you've done the research, you're getting ready to actually create the document. So I am going to include a template that I'd like for you to use. This is a template that Microsoft Word has available. So if I go to open a new document, I've got options, I've got resumes and cover letters here, and they've got all kinds of templates that I could include. I'm going to ask you to use the template that I've included, but just know that these are all available to you. And for example, if you want to do student resume, because you guys are students, this is the one that we're actually using right here. So this is what it looks like. And this top part is called the header. So you want to include your first name and your last name. One of the videos that I watched said that people who include their middle initial have a stronger chance of getting called for an interview. So having the middle initial on there makes you seem a little bit more professional and a little bit more serious. So if you have a middle initial, you can put it on there. One of the things that has changed in the past is that now we only include our telephone number and our email address. If you have a social media profile that is professional, like I wouldn't include your Instagram, but if you have a social media presence, if you have a blog, if you have a website, if you have something that is going to make employers want to hire you, you can also include it here in the header. It's really important that this information is easy to find and that if they're reading through the document and they say, hey, I like this person, they can easily find your name and how to contact you for an interview. The second thing is an objective. A lot of people leave this out. I think it's important though, if you're a student, because you don't have very much experience, and especially if your experience doesn't necessarily relate to the job that you are applying for. So if your experience is has to do with mowing lawns, but you're trying to be a business manager, those two might not go together. It might not be obvious to the employer why, how those relate to this job. So having an objective at the top that just says who you are and what you are looking for is sometimes important. I've put on the instructions, I've included that I would like for you to keep this real brief. Keep it to 3 to 5 lines long. Just introduce who you are and what you're looking for. So I'm going to let you get started filling this out. We don't have to worry about the font or the headers because it's already included in the template. So why don't you go ahead and do some research and then get your resume started and then come back once you have that research and we'll talk about some of these major sections, okay? All right, see you guys in a minute.